ate noodles with no packet. Cereal with the can.
Let's get into this next
Vlad is at the
one.
center of a very gross tape being leaked, and I have an interesting theory about who exactly leaked this. Now, this all started with an interview that Vlad did 5 months ago, interviewing one of Diddy's hired guys. For lack of a better word, Sly Diggler, an adult entertainer, male adult entertainer. And in this interview, he would talk about his
I like how Diddy has his own roster of adult entertainers. What a freaky ass nigga, bro.
experience with Diddy and Daphne Joy in particular, and one of the freak-offs that they had. And he would also describe the size of, after being asked by Vlad, the size of Diddy's, downstairs. And he would say it was one of the smallest he had ever seen. And then Vlad would extrapolate and say, oh, this explains a lot. And he would be shown a tape of it, a less than 60-second tape that Sly Diggler had on his phone. So this already happened. Fast forward until a couple of days ago, that tape leaks. It leaks on the internet.
First of all, Vlad is when it comes to journalism, I've never come across somebody who doesn't take journalism seriously. Like, Vlad is not serious at all, by any means, when it comes to journalism. This is the journalism that he's doing? What is this, the gonzo journalism? He's asking people, oh, yo, what's the size of Diddy's member? Oh, can you send me a video proof? Bro, come on, man. What kind of gotcha journalism is that? It's gross.
I think the first place it leaked on was Lipstick Alley, in one of the dark rooms of Lipstick Alley, which, shout out to all the girls on Lipstick Alley. They do their research, I'll tell you that much. I, fortunately, never had to see this tape. I just heard the descriptions, but 50 Cent tried to jump ahead of it and say the following. She's not a victim. Sire, can you imagine going to 8th grade to find out this is your mom? The court system in LA thinks it's fine. And then he reposted Neighborhood Talk posting this and saying social users react to alleged footage of Diddy. It's not alleged, because people were wondering whether this was AI or not. And Vlad even came out on his own channel with a video recording himself saying, hey guys, I can confirm this. I saw the beginning of this, and that's the one that the adult entertainer sent me. So a lot of people felt that this might have been leaked by either Sly Diggler or Vlad. Vlad said it's not me. And 50 Cent would also...
How can somebody go around in society with the name Sly Diggler, dude? Like it's for real. Like they're actually a real person, and this is their... So wild, dude.
Also posted on IG and say, free Diddy, he has gone through enough being born with no D, LOL. And I was seeing them like, man, this does not look good for 50, to be honest, because in that, some people are saying that there was some moments where she was getting urinated on, she was just slobbering on meat. It was, and keep in mind, 50 Cent's arch nemesis is Diddy, right? So this happens, and then Daphne Joy responds to this whole thing, and she says, everybody plays the fool sometime, and I have been the biggest fool. I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. Okay.
That's, hey. Don't shame them for being the demon and party monsters that they are. Don't shame them for that. Because when she's with you, she's right. Just like she's saying here, when she's with him, I just wanted my man at the time to be happy and satisfied. What she's saying there is completely true. I wanted to fulfill all his desires. You see, when you're in that relationship with her, she's willing to do all the crazy shit that you guys see on the internet, right? But as soon as you leave, you sort of come to your senses, you start realizing, oh, that shit I did with that person, that's something I'll never do again. Because that's a certain relationship you have, that one connection with a person. So you can't shame her for wanting to do this, you know what I mean? For doing the things that she did. You can't shame her for that. It's crazy.
I wanted to fulfill all his desires, even if that meant breaking my own boundaries. Okay. I deeply loved him, and I believe he loved me too. It's still so painful for me to process the harsh reality and truth of that relationship. But as time passes, in my quiet moments, I realized that it was far from love. Keep in mind, she had a child with 50 Cent. 50 Cent wanted a family with this woman, and she went and, quote, fell in love with his arch nemesis, his worst enemy, a guy who's known to be a freakazoid and within the industry already was known to have rumors on his name that he didn't even like women. So she knew all this before she even got with Diddy, and he was paying her a salary too. The recent leak was a tape I never consented to being filmed on. I don't believe this is true. I was blackmailed by the person in the video and was threatened that if I didn't give him the lump sum of money that they would leak it on the web. I almost gave in to this demand, and once I didn't, this person eventually sold this tape to a giant media outlet. The media outlet called me one day and said they had the tape and asked if I had any comment before the release. It was the first time I ever fainted in my life. This is a problem here because there's a thing called revenge porn laws. So there's no way that a media company is going to be able to buy something and then threaten to leak it if you never consented to being filmed.
Yeah,
that's two crimes right there. They're going to leak it, which is revenge porn, and they are extorting you for money before they leak illegal footage. I don't believe that. Once the media company understood the tape they purchased was revenge porn and an extortion scheme, they backed off from broadcasting it. Okay, this is a little bit sensible, but I don't trust anything that comes out of her mouth. I know they're probably reading this, and I want to say thank you for doing the right thing, even though years later it's come back to haunt me again. It took me all day to find the courage to rewatch my abuse. Having to watch this tape was triggering and painful because only I knew the inner turmoil and pressures I felt in those moments. I was not and was never...
Bro, this is a perfect example as to why people need to be careful of the choices that they're making day to day. I understand, I get it. Society as a whole is, you know what I mean? It's a lot. Society as a whole, it's a lot. There's not enough food. There's not enough money. There's not enough jobs. But apparently, since April, jobs surged about 7.9% in the market, job openings. So I mean, that's a good call, right? But you don't have to go and degrade yourself just to have the money and the lifestyle to be hanging around with all these bati boy rappers. Doesn't make any sense.
In my right mind throughout the entirety of that relationship. This is crazy. She's not even trying to say like, yeah, you know, I was off the GHB, whatever the hell else they were doing. And keep in mind, she said she enjoyed all of this. And now I was off all of that. It was actually during the entire duration of the relationship, which was what, over a year, that I was just, I don't know, I was out of my mind. Yeah, she was money drunk. She was drunk off the lifestyle. She was on private jets with Diddy. He was paying for apartments, LA homes. Yeah, she was drunk. Anybody would be out of their mind living a lifestyle like that. I was not and was never in my right mind. I just want to hold on to that girl in that room. She was not a girl in that room. She's 39 right now. She was 30. She was a grown woman for at least 10 years, and get her out of there and tell her that wasn't love and she didn't need to do this for love. My heart is breaking as I type this. I wish so many things were different, but I can't take back the hands of time. I can only continue.
The crazy thing, and this is what I'm saying, even if you look at the Diddy documentary, that near the end, that one nigga, that the producer that was with the Diddy, producing all the stuff with Diddy, and he was owed 30 G's. Mans was owed $30,000 and Diddy still hadn't paid him. But you're engulfed in this lifestyle. Oh, the lifestyle. I'm with Diddy. I'm hanging around with Diddy. We're making music. We're in the studio with Diddy. Champagne's flowing. The girls are flowing. The yacht's flowing. The flights are flowing. But yet you're still out 30 G's for your production that you still haven't been paid for. The actual work that you're supposed to have been done, you haven't been paid for. But everything else you've been given. All the spoils. The club, the girls. You know what I mean? Hang around with Diddy. The essence, the allure of money, but you never actually have a single dollar to your name. Man, these niggas are master manipulators, bro. But it's also, on one hand, the other side of it is also, this is what people want. People lust over fame and money.
To move forward and slowly learn to love and trust myself again. I want to love and protect myself so much that I'll never come across such a harmful environment again. This is the first time that I've ever felt a part of my own body and that my body belongs to me. I'm precious, not after that. I am special. I am worthy. This sounds like one of those rituals they tell themselves in a big group. This I promise to hold true in my heart for the woman I'm becoming and for the woman I once lost. Keep in mind,
sounds like one of those things she tells herself after everything.
Accountability.
Everyone has ran through.
So her and Abba have something in common. And funny enough, Vlad would respond and say, I would like to point out that even though Daphne Joy is so distraught over her freak-off tape with Diddy getting leaked, her OF is having an 85% off sale. You know she's making a bag off of that recently. Vlad would also claim he knows how it got leaked and won't tell us. I know how the Diddy Daphne joined Sly Diggler tape got leaked. It was a private conversation, so...
Dude, isn't it crazy that after this story leaks and gets out, the bitch goes out and decides, yo, I'm gonna put my OF on 85% off. What is, like, bro?
I can't give out the details. But like I said before, I never had that video in my possession. So he's just flexing on us like, hey guys, I know how it got leaked, but I'm not telling you. So we just, the whole pointless tweet at that. But I developed a little bit of a theory on my own. Keep in mind, it's just a theory of mine, but level with me here. I said this on X, and I said, I think Diddy leaked this himself, or obviously orchestrated the leaking of it. Think about it. The only people that had this tape were Diddy, the guy who recorded it, the adult entertainer, Sly Diggler in this case, and Daphne Joy may have had it, but she's saying that she didn't have it. And even if she did, she would never release it out of the humiliation, and you could tell by her reaction she didn't want it released. Vlad saw the tape. The adult entertainer didn't leak it, despite having the tape and having done that interview with Vlad over 5 months ago. Keep in mind, 5 months ago is when this interview happened and when he showed it to Vlad. So if Vlad and that guy wanted their interview to be explosive, they would have leaked it then and there. It would have made the most sense. And if you think about this, how does this really harm Diddy? Sure, 50 Cent tried to jump in front of it, but I think that's more defense than it is offense towards Diddy. Like, yeah, we think he's freakier than before, but reputationally, right now, this doesn't harm him much, other than us learning that he has a small D, which is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, right? Like other things that he's currently dealing with, prison, being a dude that likes your girl getting smashed, potentially liking dudes, DV, you know, other things that really are a lot of a bigger deal than this.
So all of this is about a video that Diddy leaked about his own member. What a society we live in, man. Like, you know, sometimes I ask myself, I sit there and I wonder, and I say to myself, hey guys, make sure you put all the videos that you want me to react to in the community tab, and then you guys go ahead and you do it. And then after I watch some of these, I kind of feel brain dead by the end of the entire process. But I guess I do it for the fans. I do it for the chat, you know?